Are you ready to be shocked with what I do with free pine cones? Stick around and find out. If you want to craft your best life, save money, and be inspired, you are in the right place. It's time to craft. Be sure to take a screenshot of this so that you can properly prepare your pine cones for crafting. Hi besties, I love using free items to craft with, and so these pine cones were gathered by my husband, and this cardboard came with some packing stuff and I just saved it. So I'm going to cut off the bottom and then I'm going to roll it up and create a cone. Now you can do this with something a little thinner and it would probably be easier, so like poster board is probably a better choice, but I had this on hand so I'm going to make it work. I'm just going to use a combination of hot glue and clear packing tape to get this thing stuck in a cone shape. Whatever it takes, using my little clamps from Dollar Tree, you name it. I'm gonna make this work if it's the last thing I do. Today's video is a collaboration, and I'll tell you a little more about that after this DIY, but I just wanted to let you know that you have something awesome to look forward to. There's my cone. And now, this is the tedious part of this one. It's so worth it though. I'm gonna take clippers and I start clipping off pieces of the little pine cone, so the little petals, if you will. And yes, I'm gonna glue each one on there individually. I know what you're thinking. You're like, are you crazy, Lisa? Yeah, a little bit. I think I am. But it is so beautiful. So you know what I did? I put on some videos or binge watched some shows, and I just did this and I wasn't even noticing I was doing it after a while. I was just watching my shows. So it's a great thing to do in the background, you know, if you're trying to do something long like this. This is what the, I guess, what would you call that? The bones of the pine cone look like after I take off all of the little petals. And there it is, all finished. Now you do see some little gaps, you know, in there where you see the cardboard. So I'm going to use my burnt umber paint by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to touch up all those little spots. And then I've got this old ribbon spool, and I like to save them because I feel like I could use them for things. I'm going to paint the whole thing with that burnt umber. You know, top, bottom, middle, everything. And that's going to become our little tree stand. I also got this fabric at the Dollar Tree. It's so cute. It's like little presents. And I'm just going to cut out pieces, and I'm going to use my Beacon fabric tack glue and attach it to that very bottom of the spool. So it looks like there's little presents sitting under the tree. Now you could make your own little presents. I just decided this was super cute and a little bit easier, so that's what I did. Especially after putting all those petals on, you know what I mean? That took a long time. I'm sure you're picturing it right now and going, I don't know if I want to do that. Trust me, when you see it at the end, you might want to do it. So I just cut the pieces until I get the whole thing covered using my fabric tack glue. And then I'm going to use my scissors and just trim around the edge. It comes right off. It's super easy, and it's not moving around because that fabric tack glue does set fairly quickly. There it is, all done. And I'm going to take this rope, I'm going to hot glue it around the edge of that and the base of the little spool. And then I've got these cool little die cut stars from Dollar Tree and this gold and white baker's twine that I actually got at Target. I'm going to glue the little piece of baker's twine to the top and then wrap it around the tree like a garland. And then I'll hot glue it at the very bottom when I'm all done. I wanted to keep it minimalistic and just let the pine cone petals, you know, speak for themselves. But I also wanted to make sure that it looked good. I'm going to take the little star and I'm going to use my gold metallic paint by Folk Art, and I'm going to paint both sides. I feel like with the gold and white twine, the star needed to be gold as well. I'm going to hot glue that right to the top. This one is just so beautiful. I sure hope you guys like this one. Let me know what you think. Besties, I'm so excited to be collaborating with Linda at FaithChick777's DIY by Design, Emily at Farm Charm Chic, Sandra at DIYs at the Schwoen's Nest. They are so talented. You're going to want to check out their channels, and there's going to be a link to the playlist down in the description box. I highly recommend that you watch them because I know you're going to love them. For this pine cone DIY, I'm going to take this small wreath form from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take the twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap it around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the curved side on the bottom, so it's like pushing, it looks like it's going in from the top. And then I'm going to go around that middle one as I come back around. That way I won't get rid of that little dip. I'm just going around the back of it so that it stays curved. Hopefully that made sense. I'm going to do that to the whole thing. There it is, and just hot glue as I go. And then I need to add some more twine on that piece of metal that makes the circle inside, because I'm going to be attaching the pine cones and I need it to have something more than metal to attach to. So once that's all attached, I've already flocked my pine cones for this. I just used some white paint and painted around it. Some of them I had already done and then didn't use them for previous projects last year. And now what I'm going to do is put some E6000, because I want to make sure this is going to stay. And then I'm also going to put a lot of hot glue all around it, hold it in place till it dries, and then I'm going to add some more hot glue just for security. And I'm going to do this all the way around. They're going to be standing up. This is a centerpiece slash candle holder, and you could put whatever you want in the center. It could be a vase with, let's say, poinsettias, or I'm going to do a candle to show you later. But this is just going to be so pretty, and I'm going to make each one of those little pine cones like little trees. So aren't they cute? And I'm going to take some winter picks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue them in between each of the pine cones, and then I'm going to take another set of them at the base. I'm going to go like horizontally and go all the way around, so that way it just looks finished and it's just so pretty. You could do this any way you want. When you see the candle in it, you're just going to be like, wow. Anyway, I just love this one so much, and it was really easy. Besties, if you are enjoying this video, I would ask that you hit the like button for me. It really tells YouTube to show my videos to more people, and then I can inspire more just like you. Thanks. If you are here from one of the other channels, I just want to take a moment and say welcome and thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you will stick around and watch some more. And I'm just hot gluing a single berry to the top of each tree. And then I'm going to go back in with an Arteza red paint marker and just make sure any of the little white parts from where I pulled them apart don't show. I love the way this turned out. I hope that you like it. Please let me know down in the comments. I'm going to take 20 pine cones, some fern and crimson chalk paint from Waverly, and then some white primer. And then I've got this little metal tin that I had used in a previous DIY. I'm going to use it again, and some skewer sticks. And I'm going to take my drill on the very smallest drill bit that I have, and I'm going to drill a hole into the bottom of each pine cone. Now, if you do this, be super careful. I wish I had a smaller drill bit, because what I want to do is glue a skewer into each of the bottom ones. So I end up using a ton of hot glue to make it stay. I'm going to do some of the pine cones with white, some in the crimson, and some in the fern, and we're going to create a pine cone like flower bouquet. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So once the pine cones are all dried and painted, I'm going to start gluing the skewer sticks into the holes. Now some of the holes went sideways and some didn't, but I promise you with enough hot glue, you can make this work. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get the skewers in every single one of the pine cones. So I won't show you all of them. I'll just show you how I did this one so you kind of know. Now I'm going to leave the design that I had painted on this previously, and I'm going to leave the little foam inside to stick the skewers into. I'm just going to start arranging them by color so they're not all the same next to each other. And I did a couple of them at shorter heights so that there was variety in it. You could honestly do this any way that you want. And then I've got this cute little reindeer or deer antler thing from Dollar Tree. I'm going to stick that in there too, just for fun. If these kind of DIYs are something you enjoy and you haven't subscribed yet, I would invite you to subscribe now by hitting that red subscribe button and turning on the notification bell so that YouTube will tell you whenever I upload a new video. I love the way this one turned out. Let me know what you think. This pine cone DIY is going to be so easy. All it takes is one pine cone, some ribbon, and I'm using berries, and a couple frosted leaves. And what I'm going to do is make a cute little bow. So I'm going to take the ribbon, and because it's one-sided, I'm just going to kind of roll it up about 5 times so that the loops are the same size, and I'm leaving some for a tail. And then I will cut off, after I do that, enough for the tail to match the same size as the first tail. This is like kind of a non-traditional little bow that I'm making. I hope you'll check out my Amazon storefront where I keep most of my favorite crafting supplies. I'll put the link down in the description box for you. Once I cut off my second tail, I'm going to gather the bow pieces together and use a little chenille stem to tighten that and tie that around. And that way everything will be, held together while I want to put it on the pine cone. And by the way, we're making it a Christmas ornament out of this pine cone. Now I'm going to fluff the bow. And there's just the 4 little loops there. And then I decided to dovetail the ends of my tails. And I just think that looks so pretty. Now, I don't like the way it's laying for this kind of a piece. So I'm going to hot glue the bow kind of down towards the tail so that when I set it on the pine cone, it'll set the way I want it to. I just didn't want it like way up high. I wanted it a little more facing forward, if that makes sense. So you can see what I'm doing right there. I'm going to take my gold metallic paint by Folk Art and I'm going to paint, the little petals of the pine cone in the gold. I think that'll look really pretty with the ribbon and then with this white and gold baker's twine. So I'm going to take some just below the bottom of the pine cone, which we're going to use as the top for hanging the ornament. I'm going to wrap the twine around several times and then I will hot glue it again, create the loop for my hanger, and then wrap it around the other side and hot glue it. So now I have a nice little hanger that's wide enough to get on the tree and also will be hidden by the bow and everything. So where it's attached, you won't even see that when it's all done. And you'll see that here in just a minute. I'm going to hot glue my bow right on what is now the top of the pine cone. And then I'm going to put hot glue in the middle and put my frosted leaves there. And they look so pretty. And once that is attached, I'm going to take these berries, I'm going to cut them down to a size that I think is more in proportion with this ornament. And I'm going to hot glue them right in the center of the leaves. Then I'm going to take my Arteza red marker and just cover any of the little white spots on the berries from where I cut them apart. And I love how easy and beautiful this ornament is. You could do so many variations with the ribbons. Let me know what you think. We're going to make another little ornament using this pine cone and also these 2 different baker's twine. One is green and white and one is gold and white. I'm going to hold the ribbons together so that when I wrap them around, they are together. So I'll start by putting a little hot glue and starting it at the top. And then I will just start wrapping it around the pine cone. And I just think this looks so pretty because it gives a little bit of color to the flocked pine cone. And I just love the way it looks. You could do this with any colors you want. I think it's just so, so cute. Imagine making it rustic with some twine. That would be gorgeous too. Once I get to the end, I'm going to make a loop with the gold and white twine and hot glue it on one side and then pull the loop up and around and hot glue it to the other side. And that will become my little hanger. And then I'll wrap some more of the gold and white around the pine cone just for a little added, flair. When I get to the bottom, I will just cut it off and hot glue it in place. I hope you'll follow me on social media. I'd love to see you there. Send me pictures of anything that you've made and just say hi. I have this gorgeous gold kind of glittery pick. I'm going to cut 2 of the leaves off and I'm going to put one at either side of the top of the ornament. And I'll use hot glue to attach it. And then I'm going to grab a really large kind of burgundy colored berry and I'm going to put it right in the center. Now I was thinking I was just adding, a little touch of color. Well, when I showed this one to my husband, he thought it looked like an angel. So let's go with that. It's an angel ornament, but I love it and it's super cute. Let me know what you think. Besties, let me know which one was your favorite and if you plan to make any of these. And don't forget to check out the playlist link in my description box so that you can watch my friends' videos and get even more Christmas inspiration. Don't forget, you are a blessing to me. Now go out and create something. I'll see you next time. Bye.